Hello and welcome to the Lou Review. This is your host, Rosa Hart, and I'm here with Megan Jones. Thank you for joining me here today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you are the COO of River's Edge Venue and Rentals,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And you've been working here for a while. How long have you been with the company?
So I opened as the manager, and we've been open for 10 and a half years.
All right. And your current location is in Bullitt County?
Yes.
And is it technically in Shepherdsville?
It is in Shepherdsville.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I wasn't sure. I have been out there,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of grass, and I wasn't sure if we were in a city or not.
Yeah, we are. We
Yeah.
are still technically in Shepherdsville.
And then how many acres is it?
So we have 10 acres.
Yes. And so you have space for what kind of events?
So we do everything from birthday parties and baby showers to weddings to celebration of life services.
Yeah. So beginning to end, huh?
Yes.
And then you had us out there a little while ago for kind of, was it an anniversary party?
It was our
Like
10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
And we did silent disco, and it was so much fun.
That was
Yes.
so fun. Oh, man. What month was that?
So we did that in February.
In February. Okay.
So it's
I
been a
remembered
little
it was
bit.
a little bit more chilly,
Yes.
but it was, yeah. So, and you guys kind of provide a full range of services. It's not just an event venue. Now, I've had Barbara, one of the owners on the podcast before, talking about another business, Shack in the Back.
Yes.
And there's some overlap there. So can you tell us about that?
So there is a little bit of overlap. They do own River's Edge. However, we're two totally separate businesses, and we run separately. So Shack in the Back has their staff, and River's Edge has theirs. Barbara's favorite part about River's Edge is that she doesn't have to be there. Even though I secretly know she really wants to come over and work with us.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of the restaurant.
Oh,
because
instead, sure.
we are so much more fun.
Or she'll just bring the food there.
Yes, she brings us all the food. So she kind of gets to be the owner and not hands-on out at River's Edge. She's definitely our backbone and our support system, and we call on her and have all kinds of phone calls all the time. But she is 99.9% at Shack in the Back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds like she's kind of cloned herself with you.
has.
You're really the one getting your hands and everything there. So what all do you do at River's Edge?
So as far as the company or as far as me personally myself?
For the company.
So we host events. We provide you with all of your tables and chairs, your linens, your centerpieces, your backdrops. We set everything up. We tear everything down. So all you have to do is come and have fun. And you don't have to stress about all the things.
Yeah. And what did you call that?
Oh my goodness.
Like having a pop-up?
Having a pop-up event.
Yeah.
So we do have packages called Pop Goes the Wedding. And those are exclusively at River's Edge. We have Jana Holland, who is the brains behind the pop-up events. She takes all of those events and literally holds their hand from signing the contract to walking down the aisle. She coordinates your catering, your bartending services, your menus, your songs, your music for your DJ, your cake. She makes all of it happen, and she can even officiate the ceremonies for you.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's really a complete package.
Yes.
But she doesn't do it all herself. She's like organizing it.
Yeah, so
Like the wedding coordinator.
Yeah, so Shack in the Back is our preferred caterer for all of our pop-up events. And you can choose anything from pulled pork and pulled chicken to pasta bar to taco bar to baked potato bars. You're not limited on your menu, but we just have a really nice package. So when you sign a contract, you know exactly the total cost for everything. And then she's going to meet with you and talk about, do you want chocolate cake or do you want white cake? And what color icing do you want? And she is going to use all of the vendors that we love to really coordinate and take care of all of the stress.
Yeah.
And we even have a package that includes Louisville Chocolate Fountain.
Good. Oh, I love them.
Yes.
Does it include the queso fountain that
So
they bring?
it could include the queso fountain. You can add on the queso fountain. It includes the chocolate fountain.
Yes.
And the dipping delight. So the strawberries are my favorite are the little ice cream puffs.
Oh.
It's a pastry
had that
puff with ice cream on the inside, and then you dip it in the chocolate, and oh my gosh, it's the best thing in the whole world. And the pineapple. I love the pineapple and chocolate.
Well, she brought I think she brought like soft pretzels and salsaritas chips with the queso
with
fountain.
queso.
Wow.
Yes.
Man.
And Anne's amazing.
Yes.
So we've handpicked our favorite, most dependable, reliable vendors.
And who are able to come to the location.
Yes, who are able to come to the location, and we know that they're going to show up and they're going to do a phenomenal job.
Right, because you don't want to be interviewing caterers and, like, pick some, and then they're like, oh, I actually go into only these zip codes or whatever.
Yes.
Which you understand is, like, you've got to have your parameters for how to have an effective business. So having that narrowed down from the beginning it's
nice.
It'll really take a lot of stress and worry off
It does.
The bride and her family.
And as a bride, trying to, when you think, okay, let's get married, and then you pick the venue, and then you have to interview 2 or 3 caterers, and 2 or 3 people that do cakes, and 2 or 3 DJs. It's almost a full-time job.
It is.
It's a lot of work.
I do not envy those people.
No. Yes.
All that work.
So we do all of it for you.
That's fantastic. And you have it down to a system as well.
Yes.
So you don't have to go through interviewing
Correct.
processes with everybody. It's preset.
Yeah.
Pretty much as far as cost and who you're going to talk to.
Yes.
And you don't have to have like multiple tasting events or
No.
whatever, which can be fun. I'm all about a good tasting event.
Tasting is fun.
But it's
and
high
you still
stakes.
get a tasting.
Yeah.
If you choose a pop-up package, you still call
good.
Shack in the Back and schedule a taste testing based on the menu that you choose. And their taste testings are not like, here's one little bite. It's like a meal.
Oh, good.
You call
Well,
ahead
you
of
really
time
know.
and schedule it and let them know what you're thinking, and they bring out all the goodies.
Oh, that's awesome. And you have a really good setup there. There's like a little bar area. So, and then you could have an indoor or outdoor wedding.
Correct.
On this grounds. I didn't get to see the grounds because it was dark
dark.
when I came in February. Like almost the whole day in February is dark. So, but there was a great dance floor, and we did silent disco there.
Yes.
So, do you have silent disco as part of a pop-up arrangement? Or?
So we don't, but you might be onto something.
Because when you walked in here tonight, you were like, when can we silent disco again?
Yes, I love silent disco. That's probably one of my favoriteest things.
Oh, yeah.
In the whole
It's
world.
so funny. It's really wild, like, the different dance moves that people will get into when they can't hear anybody around them.
Yes.
What a difference that makes.
Well, and standing back watching everybody dancing to totally different genres of music, and realizing that some people that you didn't even know could really dance can really dance.
Well, that's what happened. I brought my friend Stephanie, and she's busting out some moves, and
Yes.
I'm like, what's going on, girl? Okay.
Yes. You all did have a good time.
We did.
Yes.
We did. It was great. Thank you so much for having us.
You're
out there.
welcome.
So, what do you think would be one of the coolest weddings you've seen happen at the River's Edge so far?
Oh my goodness.
I just did not prep you at all for that.
You did not prep me for
No.
that. And in 10.5 years, there've been a lot.
Have you ever had like any medieval ones?
So we've done some themed weddings. We've
Okay.
done Beauty and the Beast. We did
Wow.
Dr. Spock.
What?
Yes. We've done
I'm wrapping my head around
Yes.
that.
we've done oh my goodness, you put me on the spot. We've done Star Wars
Okay.
with the lightsabers. They had lightsabers as their aisle markers going down the
wow.
aisle. We've done the Who.
Okay.
Themed weddings are fun
Mm-hmm.
if everybody understands the things.
Yes. If you have a lot
I
of...
don't always understand the things. Sometimes they have
Okay.
to tell me what the things are.
Yes.
Most of my favorite weddings
Mm-hmm.
are the weddings when the couple comes in
Mm-hmm.
and they just look like best friends.
Oh.
And it just gets you all up in your feels and your goosebumps, and you're like, oh, they're marrying their best friend, and this is going to be amazing.
Oh. Then no matter what happens, it'll be okay.
Yes. Yes. And I love when we get to see somebody come as a guest to a baby shower.
Yeah.
And then they get engaged.
Oh.
And then they come to River's Edge for their wedding. And then they choose River's Edge for their grandparents' retirement party.
Wow.
Or they choose River's Edge. We had a bride choose River's Edge for her grandmother's celebration of life service. Wow. And it was really awesome because they did it before she passed away. So she had...
be there?
She had, and I'm going to get the numbers extremely wrong. So if you're listening, I realize these numbers are not right. But she had something like 20 grandchildren and 40 great-grandchildren. Oh, wow. And they weren't able to have Thanksgiving, Christmas all at one house anymore.
Exactly. They outgrew it.
So they came in. She had terminal cancer.
Oh.
And they came in with the whole entire family.
Oh.
And it was just so fun
and meaningful.
And yes, for them to trust us. It's one thing when you trust us to put on a wedding, but to put on the last big event,
right?
I mean, that's some trust and some love there. And of course, then you get to become friends with those brides and grooms, and you're friends with them on Facebook, and you get to follow them and watch them and see where they go and see how their life really does turn into a happily ever after. It's amazing.
That's beautiful. You're going to make me cry. It's so sweet. So we had a 50th anniversary party for my grandparents, and it was at a place that was used kind of like that. It was like the event center outside of a church, and so as I'm picturing all that happening, it really takes me back to the country in Tennessee, where I grew up, where everybody goes to the same place for all their different family events. So that's really cool. You're really building like a little community around it, even though the people might not live there around the building.
Yeah, a lot of our customers are coming from Louisville, they're coming from E-Town, they're coming from Bardstown, just because they don't want that cookie cutter, this is where everybody else gets married, so I'm going to get married there. They're looking for something different. They're looking for something quiet. They're looking for something peaceful. And another piece of the puzzle that I didn't prep you for. So we also manage a second location. It is the Event Pavilion out at Active Heroes. And
Where is that?
It's also in Shepherdsville.
Okay.
It's a little further off the beaten path than River's Edge. And it is on 157 acres of land.
157
acres. Yes.
I had to process that. That's a
it's
lot more than the back 40, Megan.
It is. It's massive. And it is a nonprofit organization. The goal of Active Heroes is to eliminate veteran suicide. And they have a gorgeous venue that seats 175 guests. Oh, wow. So they called us last summer and said, would you be willing to manage our event space? Okay. Because they have people there that specialize in veterans and loving on veterans and taking care of veterans. And they have equine therapists, and they have disc golf, and they have a 5-mile trail that you can hike.
Do people live there?
Nobody lives there.
Okay.
They do have 2 cabins that can be rented by veterans.
Okay.
And you can stay, I think, up to 4 nights, 5 days. They look like they plucked them right outside of Gatlinburg and plucked them in the middle of Shepherdsville. They are so gorgeous and cute. But you can get married there. And you don't have to be a veteran. We love veterans. You do get a discount if you're a veteran, or if your parents or grandparents were veterans. You get a discount for having your wedding there. Okay. But it seats 175 guests. So we also have that location as well.
So is it kind of like a retreat center?
It is.
Okay.
It is. And they do a lot of community events. Like they do family camp out weekends for veterans where they can bring their family and their kids, and they provide tents, and they entertain you and feed you all weekend.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
They're getting ready to do Jeep Jamboree.
Jeep Jamboree?
Jeep Jamboree. Jeeping is a big thing.
Yeah.
I don't have a Jeep.
Yeah.
But I now want a Jeep because it's a whole community.
Okay.
And there will be hundreds of Jeeps out at Active Heroes for a whole day of a family-friendly, fun event with food trucks and bounce houses and all the things and lots of Jeeps.
So will it be like set up like a car show? Or are they showing off their Jeeps?
Yes, it's like a car show.
Oh, wow. Okay. Are they going to do like a parade?
I don't know. Okay. I've never been to a Jeep Jamboree.
So this is your first
So this will be my first. But they did give me ducks. And I get to duck Jeeps when I see them out and about. Where you put a duck on a Jeep. Did you know that was a thing? No. So that's a whole thing in the Jeep community. They duck each other with rubber ducks. So Active Heroes made, we didn't make rubber ducks. We bought rubber ducks, but we put a string on them that talks about Jeep Jamboree and advertises Jeep Jamboree, and it's got a little QR code on it. So I've been going around for the last 2 days, driving around and looking for Jeeps and putting ducks on them to promote Active Heroes.
That's literally adorable.
Yes.
I love it.
So before I leave, I'm going to give you a duck, even though you don't have a Jeep. You need to be ducked.
Oh, sure. And then I can put it on a Jeep.
Yes. It's a whole thing.
I love stuff like that.
So that'll be your next TikTok venture. Go down the rabbit hole of ducking Jeep.
That's adorable. I'm okay with it.
Yes.
Well, okay. So we've got the Active Heroes and River's Edge. But you also go to other locations.
We do.
Tell us about that.
Go all over the place. I try not to get further than an hour outside of Louisville.
Okay.
We provide linens, tablecloths, tables, chairs, backdrops, centerpieces, and we can do a couple of different things. You know, some people call us and they're like, hey, we're having a graduation party in our backyard. We just need some tables and chairs. Great. Do you want to pick them up or do you want to have them delivered? Because we do offer delivery for all of our things.
So simple.
For weddings, it's a little more detailed.
Mm-hmm.
You come in for appointments, you pick out your linens, you pick out your centerpieces.
Sure.
We talk about all the things.
Mm-hmm.
There are brides that really want to be hands-on, and they say, I just want to come and pick everything up on Friday, and I'll bring it back on Monday.
Yeah.
And then we have brides who say, I'm getting married in downtown Louisville. I don't want to pick it up.
Yeah.
I don't want to set it up. I don't want to tear it down, and I don't want to bring it back. So then we do all the things. So this past week, we were involved with 18 events. We also have several venues that we are their linen provider. So we provide all of their wedding linens every single week. We have several caterers that take care of all of their linens.
So are you doing the laundry for these linens?
We do everything in-house. So
I guess I should say, are you laundering their linens?
Yes. So we do everything in-house. I have a full-time lovely lady named Dolores that all she does all day long is washes and dries linens.
Well, okay.
That's her whole job for 40 hours a week.
Does she have to iron them?
She does not iron them.
Oh.
Then you move over to our steam room.
Well, excuse you.
And you have...
You have a steam room.
We have a steam room.
Okay.
And you have, on any given day, Katie, Julie, Stacy, Nikki, who are back there steaming the linens, putting them on hangers, putting them in plastic, and getting them ready to go out.
That is a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
How many employees do you have?
So we have, if you count every single person.
Who's part-time and everything?
We have part-time. We have a chair guy. That's his job. His name's Jordan. He's amazing. He literally just comes out and sets up all the chairs for us whenever we need chairs set up.
Fantastic.
And then he comes back out and takes all the chairs down outside when they're done.
That's great.
If you count every single solitary person, there are 19 total, including myself.
Okay.
So there's 18 of all the people.
Well, that sounds like you've been doing a good job delegating, because 10 years ago when it started, you were like a one-woman show, right?
I was the only full-time employee.
Wow.
And we had some part-time employees to do. And Dolores has been with us since 2 months of opening.
She's been holding down the fort with you.
Yeah, she used to do a lot of the steaming. Okay. And now, because we have grown the way we have, her only job is to wash the linens.
Okay. And dry them. There you go.
And put them back on the shelf where they belong.
That's awesome.
Because there's a whole thing to folding a linen.
I believe
there is a very right way and there is a very wrong way.
I'll have to watch that
to
TikTok
get them
hack.
All back on the shelf. We should do that as a TikTok. That should be one of our TikToks.
Yeah.
How to fold a linen.
Yes.
It's a lot of work.
Hey, and you have expertise. I think it's like 10,000 hours makes you an expert in something, right?
Oh, then she's way more than an expert.
Well, there you go.
she's way more than an expert.
So she's definitely very qualified to make that TikTok video.
Yes.
I bet you would get a lot of views too. Because everybody,
would.
People send me, I had this one lady, she sends me all these TikToks she finds about life hacks and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love life hacks.
It might go viral. Watch out.
It might.
You might never see the river's edge
I know.
after you can. You're like, do I want to do this?
Yeah, do I really want to do this?
I had 18 events last week.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
But that's really awesome that you guys are offering that. And it sounds really personalized and has a really family feel to doing that.
Yes.
Instead of like just going into a big center where you feel like
it's corporate.
Yeah. Which is not what you want for a, well, I mean, unless that's what you want.
Yes. And everybody,
not what everybody wants, right?
Everybody and you have to look at head counts too, because a lot of times when you get into weddings, especially some of the weddings that are like 300 to 400 people, you can't go to a smaller venue. You kind of have to pick something big.
Yes, you do.
But it's nice to be family owned and operated. It's nice to make connections with our customers. It's nice that they love on us and trust us and call us when there's issues. So that's kind of the other thing that River's Edge does that a lot of people don't really realize until you become a customer.
Okay.
So you sign a contract with us, and let's say you've gone and you've met with 3 DJs, and you just don't know. You just don't know.
Who to choose.
Who do you choose?
Yeah.
You can always call us for advice.
Like, well, this person will show up on time and this person won't.
Yes. And they can call and say, have you worked with this person? And we've worked with a lot of people.
Yeah.
A whole lot of people. The other thing is you can call us as that buffer. Brides will call us and say, this is really what I want, but this is what my mom wants.
So what can we find that will
So what can we find that's in the middle? Or sometimes they just need us to put the big girl pants on for them and say, this day is about the bride. And this is what she wants. So she gets to make all the decisions today. But maybe the bride will find something that you can make a decision on.
Yeah.
And kind of take the heat off the bride
Yeah.
so she doesn't have to be the bad guy.
Yeah. Well, that's really needed.
Well, and sometimes it's, the bride and the groom are trying to make decisions, and this is the bride's day.
Well, it sounds like a good time to have somebody in your corner. So
yes,
yeah, I'm glad you can do that for them. So, if somebody wants to find River's Edge for having the linens or the tables or the chairs or reserving the space, where do they find you?
So the best place to go is our website.
Okay.
riversedgevenueandrentals.com, because there's a wonderful little button that says inquire, and it has you fill out a little survey, and it automatically sends you all of our package information based on what you're inquiring on. So if you pick party, it's going to send you party information. If you click wedding, it's going to send you wedding information.
Smart.
If you click rentals, it's going to send you, so you get that immediate gratification and you don't have to wait. Because I'm just going to be honest, if you call us at 3 o'clock on a Friday, we may not be able to return your call until Monday.
Yeah.
And our answering machine clearly says, all of our email addresses say, please allow 24 to 48 hours for us to get back with you. But if you want that, if you're like me, and you want immediate gratification, and I want the pricing and I want it now, that's the best way to get it. And you can also go to our website to schedule appointments. So you don't have to call us and see when you're available, and then call your mom, and then call your fiance, and then call the maid of honor. It's literally on your phone in your hand with all of our availability, and you just click a time slot that works for you.
That is fabulous. Wow, way to streamline the process.
Yes.
When you think, I want to rent a place out in the country, you don't always think of it being so high tech. So good job.
We're on it this year. We've made a lot of changes.
Is that a really recent development?
It is.
Okay.
We completely had our website rebuilt, and the scheduling and pricing and all of that was completed in January.
It sounds like a good investment.
It was a very good investment.
Does it save me a lot of time?
It saves me a ton of time. So on any given day, we can get up to 30 inquiries a day. And I used to have to physically type the response to every single email that came in.
Yikes.
And it it took me a minute.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
it takes a minute when you're doing everything by hand. So we had somebody come to us and say, you've got to make this easier on yourself.
Oh.
And thank goodness we did. And we streamlined it all. And it's awesome, too, because then that bride has a portal for their whole thing.
Yeah.
All of their communication and information is right there inside that private portal for them. So they can always go back and review every conversation that we've had.
That is so helpful. It sounds kind of like Airbnb.
Yes.
Because they have that consolidated.
Yes.
Like, you've got that whole chat. And yeah, I just love it.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for coming and sharing this space with me. And then also, we had a great time getting to know each other before we started recording. We were like, well, we've been talking for an hour. We should probably record now. Well, if you are looking for an event venue or a place to get your linens and tables and things, look no further than River's Edge and get their quote there. So thanks for coming, and we will see you in the next episode for more about what makes Louisville a great place to be.
Yes.
Bye.